Up, guys? This video is just an introduction of what I do and how I was able to create a passive income for myself in real estate investing. I currently own four single family homes, have 18 tenants, and that makes me $10,755 in passive income per month or in rental income. Basically, I was inspired by my grandpa. He bought three properties in the Bay Area and was able from that rental income to achieve financial freedom for himself and retire early. And he was able to not only do that, but also pay part of my tuition, my college tuition, and that of my brothers as well. So I realized that real estate is really one of the best vehicles to build wealth for you and your family, and build generational wealth. So from there, I knew I wanted to do real estate. So right when I graduated college, I graduated with a PharmD, a doctorate of pharmacy, and I bought my first property in 2016. It was a single family home, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and I rented it out to my, local college students. And I repeated this process every year. And, I'm 27 now. After 4 years of investing, I now have four single family homes. I rent out per room, so I have 18 tenants. Sometimes I even have multiple tenants in one room. And it's kind of like a form of house hacking. So I really increase the rents. Usually a house that would be maybe $1,500 or $2,000 in rent, I'm getting actually more like $2,500 to $3,100 in rent. So you can see this really boosts your rental income. And, the more bedrooms you can add, the more you'll get in that cash flow for yourself. And I actually do this in California, where usually the market is such that you can't really make the cash flow. But because I'm actually doing it using the student rental method, I'm able to really get the cash flow that I need and desire. So, you guys can ask your questions, leave comments, and I'll also put out more videos and try to answer all the questions that you guys have with getting started in investing. If you are just getting started, I do recommend you save up for a down payment. I recommend a 20% down payment. And the reason is there are ways to, do it with no money down. There's definitely like things out there such as subject to real estate investing. There's lease option sandwiches you can use. But really the simplest way to get started is to use conventional loan financing. And for that, you will need at least a 20% down payment. So kind of examine the markets around you, not just your city, but within an hour radius of your city, and see, potentially where you can afford a 20% down payment. And to save up, there's a couple things you can do. Of course, you can have a side hustle. A lot of people do that. You can actually work overtime at your job potentially, or even take a second job and increase your income that way. Another thing that's really important is making sure you don't have any bad debt. And this is key for getting a conventional mortgage, because any bad debt like personal loans, car loans, car leases, any type of, college loans technically would be considered bad debt. You want to try to pay off as much of that as you can. If you can pay it off within 1 year, then that'd be great. If you can't pay it off within a year, then you could potentially hold off on paying it back while you invest in your real estate. Particularly for college loans, because I know a lot of people have those student loans. If the interest rate is 5% or less, then I would recommend just actually holding off on paying it, because you can make a lot higher returns in, say, the stock market, but especially real estate. Real estate really provides a vehicle through which you can get 20% to 30% return on investment, or cash on cash returns. So I would actually not pay it off if your interest rate's like less than 5%. If it's more than 5%, 6, 7% or more, then I recommend trying to figure out if you can refinance it. So call up some companies. I've heard there's like SoFi out there. You can try to refinance for a lower rate. Some other things, you can kind of do just to get started in real estate is go to your local REI meetups. That stands for Real Estate Investment Meetups. You can listen to podcasts. There's a lot of podcasts out there on real estate investing. There's a lot of good books out there. Of course, there's Rich Dad Poor Dad if you haven't read that. There's Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller. I highly recommend that book. Watching YouTube videos. But the most important thing is, to choose a field. There's a lot of fields out there. There's wholesaling, lease options. There's fix and flip. There's multifamily. There's Airbnb, which is also known as short-term rentals. So there's all those options out there. Go ahead and, read up on those. Choose one that makes sense for you, and then find a mentor, someone who's actually done it, who has a track record in that area, and then, hire them or, potentially offer them some value in return, and they can, show you the ropes and really prevent you from making a lot of the mistakes that newbies make. It'll save you time. It'll save you a whole lot of money. I remember on my first deal, I actually lost a lot of money because I didn't do my due diligence during the inspection phase. So I learned from those mistakes. And I created a system for student housing that I don't have to, spend a lot of my time managing the property, and I minimize my expenses and maximize my profits on the property. So, if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and contact me about it. But if you guys have any questions at all, just, leave a message in the comment section, and I'll try to answer most or all of your questions on the next video or live stream that I do. Thank you guys.